Lawyers for an undocumented 17-year-old girl in a federally funded shelter in Texas are asking the full bench of a federal appeals court in Washington to permit her to have an abortion immediately despite resistance from the Trump administration. Attorneys with the American Civil Liberties Union moved Sunday night to escalate the legal fight to the full D.C. Circuit after a three-judge panel issued a 21 decision Friday trying to forestall a definitive ruling in the case. That panel gave authorities until the end of the month to try to find the teen an adult sponsor, who could then help her get an abortion if she still desires one. Story continued below. However, the teen, identified in court papers only as Jane Doe, or JD, was already estimated to be 15 weeks pregnant last week, so the prospects of her receiving an abortion are becoming more complicated and difficult by the day. Texas bans abortion in most cases after 20 weeks. Every additional day she must remain pregnant against her will places a severe strain on JD, both physically and emotionally. Every additional week the government delays her abortion increases the risks associated with the procedure, the teen's attorneys wrote in the petition for en banc review filed with the D.C. Circuit just after 10 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday. In a matter of weeks, JD will no longer be able to get an abortion at all, and the government will have forced JD to have a child against her will. Officials from the Department of Health and Human Services, which oversees the care of undocumented minors in the country, DIDNT, immediately respond to a request for comment. However, a spokesperson for HHS's Administration for Children and Families issued a statement Friday evening defending its actions in the case. By signing up you agree to receive email newsletters or alerts from Politico. You can unsubscribe at any time. For however much time we are given, the Office of Refugee Resettlement and HHS will protect the well-being of this minor and all children and their babies in our facilities, and we will defend human dignity for all in our care, the statement said. The court gave the administration until 11 a.m. Monday to file a response to the en banc petition. While the D.C. Circuit rarely grants en banc review, the ideological breakdown of the court could be more favorable than was the panel randomly assigned to the emergency appeal last week. The court's active bench has 7 Democrat-appointed judges and only 3 Republican appointees. By contrast, the panel who ruled on the case Friday consisted of 2 Republican appointees and just 1 Democrat. The girl's attorneys could have gone directly to the Supreme Court for relief, but appear to have concluded they stand a better chance or can get faster action from the full D.C. Circuit. The request for full court review sought to capitalize on a 10-page dissent from Judge Patricia Millett, an Obama appointee, issued Friday parting company with the 2 Republican appointees who agreed to the 11-day delay, Judges Brett Kavanaugh and Karen Henderson. The teen's lawyers noted that Millett sharply rejected the Trump administration's arguments that signing paperwork to allow the girl to be taken out of a federally funded shelter would amount to facilitating her abortion, despite the administration's stated desire to advance childbirth and fetal life. Millett said such steps to allow an abortion are routine in adult immigration detention and in federal prisons. The government's insistence that it must not even stand back and permit an abortion to go forward for someone in some form of custody is freakishly erratic, Millett said, in one passage quoted by the teen's attorneys. In addition to the en banc petition, lawyers for the girl filed a declaration from a former Obama administration official saying that the appeals court decision Friday was unrealistic in its premise that officials could find and approve a sponsor for the 17-year-old girl by October 31. I do not think that JD can be released within that short time period, wrote Robert Carey, who from April 2015 until January of this year served as director of the Office of Refugee Resettlement. In the declaration, also filed Sunday evening, Carey listed the detailed steps that office must take to identify and vet sponsors. He said that, in the case of Jane Doe, a pregnant teen without close family in the country, the process would take even longer. I believe it is important to protect the rights of unaccompanied children in the care of the U.S. government, Carey told Politico about why he filed the declaration in support of the ACLU's position.